Overview of the Excel interface. First things first, let's take a look at the main components of the Excel interface. That is where you'll be spending most of your time, so understanding each part is crucial. Let's break it down. Title bar. At the very top, you will see the title bar. This is where the name of your file appears. If you haven't saved your document yet, it will show something like Book 1. As soon as you save your file, the name of your document will appear here. The ribbon. Next, let's talk about the ribbon. This is the toolbar that you see just below the title bar. It contains a variety of tabs like Home, Insert, Data, and more. Each tab has a set of commands and tools that are grouped together based on their functions. For example, the Home tab contains tools for formatting text, copying and pasting data, while the Insert tab is where you will find options for adding charts, images, and tables. Each tab is organized into groups. For example, in the Home tab, you will find groups like Clipboard, Font, Alignment, and Number. These groups make it easy to find the tools you need. Workbook and Worksheet. Moving on to the workbook and worksheet. A workbook is your entire Excel file, and it contains multiple worksheets. So in a very simple term, workbook is like a folder where worksheets, which is like files, are kept in. You'll find the worksheet tabs at the bottom of your screen, where you can easily switch between them and create new ones by simply clicking on the plus sign, as you can see me doing. You can rename the new sheet by double-clicking on it. Each worksheet contains rows and columns where your data will go. Now let's talk about columns, rows, and cells. This is the most important part of the worksheet. A cell is where you can enter data. It's located at the intersection of a row and a column. Rows are numbered and columns are labeled with letters. So for example, the cell at the intersection of column B and row 2 is B2. The active cell is always with a dark green border around, and the name appears in the name box as shown. Here are the most useful keyboard shortcuts for navigating around an Excel worksheet without using your mouse. Moving between cells. The arrow keys, that's the up, down, left, and right. This moves one cell in the direction of the arrow key you press. Tab. The tab moves one cell to the right. Shift plus tab. Move one cell to the left. Enter. Move one cell down in the current column. Shift plus enter moves one cell up in the current column. Moving to a specific area. Control plus arrow key, either the up, down, or the left arrow key, will quickly jump to the edge of the data range in the direction of the arrow key. For example, pressing Ctrl plus the down arrow will take you to the last used cell in the column. Now let's use Ctrl plus arrow keys to determine the name of the last cell in the column. So the last cell in the column is 1048576, and then the last row is XFD. So the last name in the worksheet is XFD 1048576 as shown in the name box. Entering data into cells. There are 3 types of data you can enter in a cell. You have the text, numbers, and formulas. Let me show you some examples of entering data into a cell. Entering text. In cell A1, I will type the word apples. This is a simple text entry. When you enter text, it will appear exactly as you type it. So go ahead, try entering any text into any of the cells. Entering numbers. In cell B1, I will enter a number like 15. Excel automatically treats this as a number, so you can use it in calculations. Entering formula. To begin any formula in Excel, you need to start with an equal sign. This tells Excel you want to perform a calculation. Next, you can type your formula. For example, if you want to sum values in this range of cells, you will use the sum function. Once your formula is entered, press enter. Excel will automatically calculate the results for you. Excel also have a variety of other built-in functions like average, count is, max, etc. Simply replace the function name to suit your need. Use cell references. You can also use cell references in your formulas. For example, if you want to add values from cells C1 and C2, you would type equal to C1 plus C2. That's it. You have now learned the basics of entering data in Excel. Remember, with little practice, you'll be able to be calculating like a pro. Happy excelling. Now that we have data entered, let's talk about how to format it. This includes deleting, copying, adjusting cells, and more. Formatting is essential for organizing your data and making it easier to read. Deleting data. To delete data, simply select cell or range of cells you want to clear and press the delete key on your keyboard. If you want to delete the entire rows or column, right-click on the row or column header, then select delete from the context menu. Copying and pasting data. To copy data, you simply click on Ctrl+C, and to paste data, Ctrl+V. Adjusting cells to fit data. Sometimes your data might not fit into a cell properly. To adjust a column or row, simply hover to the boundary of the column or row heading. When the cursor changes to a double-headed arrow, click and drag to a size. You can also automatically adjust the column or row to fit the data. Just double-click the boundary between two column or rows headings. Replacing data. If you want to replace specific data, use the Find and Replace feature. To open it, press Ctrl+H. In the Find What box, type what you want to replace, and in the Replace with box, type the new value. Then click Replace All. Adding rows and columns between data. To insert new rows or columns between data, right-click on the row number or column letter where you want to add a new row or column, then select Insert from the menu. Flash Fill. Excel also have a handy tool called Flash Fill. It automatically fills in data based on the pattern you start. For example, if you have a list of full names and you want to split them into first name and last name, start typing the first name in the adjacent column and Excel will guess the rest. Just press Enter to accept the suggestion. To activate the flash fill, just press Ctrl+E